Hey, it's Adele from Let's Get Inkie, and today I'm working in my Traveler's notebook. I recently discovered a stash of photos that I had specifically printed out for my Traveler's notebook but had completely forgotten about. So we're catching up on some memories and putting in some bits and pieces from 2018. And actually, is this 2018 or is this 2017? No, this is 2018. Yes, 2018. Getting all my years muddled up. But let's talk photo sizes today because I think this is one of the few times that I have used a 4x6 inch photo in my Traveler's notebook. Usually I use either 2x3 inch, which is what that other little photo is, or 3x4. And the reason why I usually use those is because I also do Project Life over on my main channel, Inkie Quill, and I typically print most of my photos 3x4 inch size for there. So it's often just easiest to press print twice and print the same photo twice in the same size that it already was. And I think I've been a little bit scared to use large photos in my Traveler's notebook. Let me know in the comments if you do use a TN, what size photos you typically use. I don't know why I haven't used more 4x6s. I think it's just because quite often when I do have a 4x6, it's a horizontal photo. It's not a vertical one, and so it's a little bit trickier to stick in. I did do over on my Patreon, I've done a few videos on my Traveler's notebook journal where we went away for a week and I documented while I was away and then when I got back as well. And I did do a couple of horizontal 4x6s there and kind of cut them in half. But I don't know, I shy away from it. So I'd be really interested to know what's your favourite photo size if you do memory keeping in a TN or a little stick and plonk type journal. What's your favourite size of photos and bits and pieces to work with? I definitely prefer the little things, I think, but it was nice to try something new, and I do want to try and use bigger photos. Plus, if you use bigger photos, there's less things to embellish and write, which is a bit of a sneaky way if you want to catch up and fill up some spaces in your insert, is to use some larger photos because it takes up more space. So then I've got this little container. I talked about this in the previous Traveler's Notebook Journal With Me video number 32, and I was talking about the joy of these washi tape strip sheets, I guess you could call them, and I've been really enjoying using them up. It's kind of given me a bit of motivation to also use my washi tape stash. I recently moved and changed how I stored my actual rolls of washi, and I'm finding that I'm reaching for it more often, which is nice. But these washi tape strips, I just don't reach for, so they're a handy go-to when I'm working in my TN. That little one in heart embellishment was one of my June Inkie Patreon printables, and I'm just using up bits and pieces that have just been lying on my desk. And the colour scheme that I went for here, obviously these were taken near Christmas time, and so I wanted to use a little spurt of red here and there, and luckily this sheet had a lot of red washi tape on it that I could try and stick all the bits of washi on. So much washi. But I also decided to go with that blue. I think because of Archie's eyes. As you guys know, if you watch my videos a lot, I'm not really a green kind of gal. I'm warming to it, but it's definitely not one of my go-to colours. And so if I do Christmas themed pages, I typically go for red with another colour like blue or pink, rather than the traditional red and green. So here I found, like I talked about in that previous Journal With Me episode as well, I found the perfect sticker to fit in the perfect little space, and it brought me such joy. And then I found this one. These stickers, I think, are from an old crepe paper sticker sheet, I do believe. And they have been in my stash for ages. And I just haven't wanted to use them in my scrapbooking pages. So by making them specifically for my traveler's notebook little stash, little container that I have, it gives them a new hope to actually get used and not be completely abandoned. So I found those numbers and I thought, oh, that gives me an idea. Maybe I could do the theme of this page being a countdown to Christmas, because these photos were taken, I think, a couple of weeks or maybe a week before Christmas. And this was the first Christmas that Archie could really enjoy. His first one, he was only 9 months old, and, you know, it was just a big day of wrapping paper, and he didn't know what was happening, and he still didn't really know what was happening, but he was so excited by the lights on the tree and giving people presents. Like he would take the present box over to his uncles, and he loved seeing the happiness on their face, whereas the year before he kind of just sat there and chilled out. And so it was nice to enjoy that this year. It's slightly terrifying that this year we will have 2 for Christmas. Slightly terrifying. Baby girl will only be several weeks old, so that's going to be fun. But it'll be interesting to start the journey of Christmas joys all over again with a new baby. I used a blue Tombow dual brush marker, and I have this issue where my local art shop, Eckersley's, sells them, and so does Officeworks. And it's very difficult for me not to gravitate towards the display because they're organised in colour order, and they just look so inviting. Let me know in the comments, if you walk into an art or a craft store, what is the one go-to that you just cannot walk past without dawdling, fondling the supplies, looking at the things on the shelf? What's the one section? For me, it's definitely the pens and markers. I just can't get enough of them. And I think I need to write down the numbers of the dual brush markers that I already have, because I was very tempted to buy another 2 the other day just to replenish my stash a little bit, because I had to chuck out a couple. And I have a feeling that they were colours that I already had. So I've really got to get on top and record somewhere just in my phone what colours I've already got. So I'm going through this old Scraptastic sticker sheet now, and I thought the 12 worked out well because it was blue and because December is the 12th month. And then I'm just adding a bit of journaling here using my beloved Pilot G2 in the 0.7 size. And just adding a little bit. I have already done a lot of scrapbooking with these photos and journaled quite a lot on the back of one of my scrapbook layouts. And I have a feeling, did I also? No, I don't think this was part of my 100-day project for that year. But I've already done a lot of journaling about this, so I didn't need to add too much, just a little bit here and there. And when I finished this page, I really loved it. I think it was the scale of the photo, and I also did quite a large patch of brush lettering, which lately, my last few pages, I've been sneaking the brush lettering in just like a sneaky little spot, and it hasn't been such a large title, but I quite like it. So it's sometimes nice to change up either your supplies or the size of the things that you're using, just to give it a bit of a new spark. But I hope you've enjoyed this video. There'll be a Traveler's Notebook video every month over here on Let's Get Inkie, and an art journal video, and then of course Scrapbooking Project Life over on my Inkie Quill main channel. Please give this video a thumbs up if you enjoyed it. It really does help my channel out. It helps new inklets discover my channel, and I hope you have a rad weekend. See you in the next video. Bye!